Don't ever laugh as a hearse goes by, for you may be the next to die. They wrap you up in bloody sheets to drop you 6 feet on.
Tonight, on the Midnight Train podcast, we're heading back to the supernatural and discussing the story of the Union Screaming House. What the hell happened there that made a man run away in utter fear? Listener discretion is advised. So, if you crap your pants, don't blame us. All aboard.
The worms play pinochle on your snout. They eat your eyes, they eat your nose as you begin to decompose. A slimy beetle with demon's eyes chews through your stomach and out your sides. Your stomach turns to rancid grease and pus pours out like melted cheese.
Hello, passengers, and welcome to the Midnight Train podcast, where we bring the dark to light. Well, what's that mean? Well, you guys, if you listen, you've been here before, you know what it means. We make fun of and joke about creepy stuff while bringing you as much information on each topic as possible. I am your host, the conductor of the cryptic, Jonathan Sayer. That's somehow fitting, and I'll take that.
You're from West Virginia, right?
I'll take it. I'll take it all day.
There you go, buddy.
And with me, always, are my co-hosts, Mr. Moody and Logan.
Hello. Yes, we both get the boo.
Tough crowd today. We're like a minute in.
Did you guys notice that when I changed it up just a little bit, I said creepy stuff?
Yes.
Stuff?
Yeah.
I like stuff.
I'm trying to tone down my language.
I like stuff and things.
Yeah. You like stuffing things?
I mean... mostly cakes with creams, like Twinkies and stuff.
That doesn't sound any better.
You stuffing yourself?
So you beautiful bunch of dark passengers
If you're still with us.
You're still with us. You know we're just a bunch of musicians and buttholes that love history and can't get enough of the mysterious.
It's, poop shoots.
Yeah, poop shooters. And we want you to know how much it means to us that you're listening right now. And if you're new, welcome. It's very nice to have you, and we hope that we don't offend you too much and make you go off onto Twitter or wherever it is and say that we swear too much.
Well, that's John.
Yes.
I don't care if we offend you,
Right.
so fuck off.
Right. And immediately, I was actually going to say, I'm just kidding, and fuck you. Right?
That's our way of saying that we love you, though.
Right. That is true. That is true.
That's why I say that to my kids all the time.
Right. So your reviews...
Don't call child services, please.
Your reviews and support really do make all the hard work worthwhile. Uh-oh, what?
Speaking of reviews.
Oh, God.
We got a new one.
Oh, yeah?
Did you see this one?
I don't think so.
All right.
I don't get the thing anymore.
Well, that's because you're an idiot.
Oh, but that's not because I'm an idiot.
Oh, all right. We got a good one here. It's a 5-star.
Nice.
Oh.
And the reason I'm reading this is because it made me feel good about it.
Okay.
It says, quote, "Love these boys. I'm a fellow podcaster who loves to curse. If I could do a crossover with these guys, I would be so happy. Great content, and they do their research." And that was from Apple Podcast, Alicia M. So, Alicia,
Get a hold of us.
if you're out there, get a hold of us.
Yeah, the Midnight Train
Let us know
podcast.
about your podcast, and we'll talk.
Yeah, you can go to the midnighttrainpodcast.com or go over to just send us an email at the midnighttrainpodcast@gmail.com. Send us an email. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Let's
Let
see
us
what
know
you're
about your
talking about.
podcast, and we definitely want to check it out. Help spread the word.
Maybe we can just sit around and just use as many swear words as we possibly can together.
Right, dude?
You know?
It's like fuck,
Shit. Fuck.
dick,
Farts.
cunt.
Oh, whoa.
Rough.
Is that too far? Is that the one that took it too far?
Wow.
All the women just stop listening. So.
Yeah, man.
Actually, if you want the women to stop listening, you just gotta say moist.
Ew. You did that, didn't you?
Why do people hate that word so much?
That one, and ladies, panties.
That word's hilarious.
Yeah, panties.
It's very close to pancakes.
Wait, you do yours again?
Moist.
Panties.
Well,
man.
anyways.
You can tell we haven't been together in a while. Oh, I love it. All right. So listen, give us a 5-star review, especially after that. And thank you very much. Alicia, is that her name?
Yes, with an E. E-L-I. What? Yes. E-L-I-C-I-A.
Well, thank you so much, Alicia, for giving us a 5-star
ECM.
review and for saying that, that the fucks are given and we love them.
Thanks a fucking ton.
That's right.
We fucking appreciate it.
And let us know what your podcast is. I'd love to check it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Please.
that'd be super awesome.
Please get in touch.
Now, listen, You can leave any review you'd like, obviously, and you can also help and just go on Spotify.
Tell us you're moist.
Radio, moist with your panties. Go to Spotify, iHeartRadio, and when you're there, just type in the Midnight Train Podcast in their search bar and click the follow button. You'll then get each episode as they are released. And Patreon subscribers, you know what? You guys did get the Cotton Mather one. Listen, as soon as I get the EMF audio back from the Ghost Hunt.
They're the ones that did that song, right? Unbelievable.
Oh! No. I mean, yes, they were, but... But anyway, we'll talk about the Ghost Hunt later on at the end of the episode. It was actually really cool.
Sweet.
And we have also got some other really cool bonuses coming. And if you want to check out those bonuses that are specifically for our Patreon subscribers, head on over to patreon.com/The Midnight Train Podcast, or head on over to themidnighttrainpodcast.com. Pick up some cool merchandise while you're over there. You know, like Moody's actually wearing the Don't Be a DeSalvo shirt right now in the studio. It's pretty awesome. Baby. I'm actually very proud of that shirt.
I love it. I think it's great.
I'm very proud of that shirt. I designed the majority, all of the shirts. So when I see...
because you don't let me do it.
Please design the next one.
You got it, pal. All right.
Promise?
Yep.
Promise?
It's going to be the greatest.
No help from Danny, though.
Okay. That's fine.
All right.
Yeah, I will design the next shirt.
Nice. The next
shirt's going to be a Moody original.
All right. I do have some other shirts that we talked about last time coming up, which are going to be awesome. I sent you that one. What was it? Speed
Impossible.
Speed Impossible.
Catching doofies.
The Speed Impossible shirt's going to be amazing. Yeah. So anyway, while you're over at the website, you buy some merchandise. And also, with the Patreon thing, we are going to start giving 10%.
Yes.
Once we hit 100 producers. So 10% of everything we bring through Patreon, it's going to go to a charity that our listeners, our Patreon listeners, and producers, they decide on.
Yeah, you guys are going to get to choose where it goes. And we're going to try to switch it up every month, I think.
I think every month we should do something different. Yeah.
So we can pick a new one. You guys get to choose where your hard-earned dollars get to go. So it's a good way to keep us running and give to charity at the same time.
Absolutely. Plus, I mean, it's just, you get bonuses.
You do get bonuses.
You give to a good cause. You help our you help our goofy asses fucking keep trying and keep moving forward and whatnot.
Absolutely.
And by the way, if you want to hear about the horrible shit that's going on with the video, please wait till the end. We've decided to keep all that kind of stuff to the end of the podcast now. So
we're already running long. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah. Also, sign up over at our official Facebook group page. It's fun. It's really cool. And,
it's a good time.
And lastly, before we get into this, the movie quote drinking game.
Ooh.
Every time we have to throw a quote from a movie out there, you got to drink. It's that easy.
I like it.
And the best part is, Dad gets to drink as well too.
Oh,
every time there's a movie
Why don't you
quote.
tell everybody what you're drinking today, John?
All right, just real fast so we can get into this because I'm really excited about this episode. It's going to be super creepy. Fucking Moody decided to post a video, and if you're following our social media, you probably saw it, where I got caught up, and we'll talk about that later. I got stuck in Dallas.
You liar.
I know I did, and oh God, I don't even want to I told you. Anyway, it was horrible, and he says basically because of my penance for being stuck in there.
Because you guys have to wait for this episode.
Because you had to wait for this episode, I have to drink a shitty 40. However, he did not find...
I couldn't find the 40.
The 40, but I am...
Still got you the 24.
I'm still looking at a big-ass can of Colt 45.
Yes!
So there's that.
Could be delicious.
So I'll be drinking that tonight.
Colt 45.
Yes, does it every time.
Billy D.
That's right. So all right, let's turn down the lights, adjust our seats.
Could have been worse. I almost bought you a bottle of Boone's Farm.
That was the first time I ever got drunk was on Boone's Farm. Yeah, it's not good.
I drank 2 bottles of that and didn't get drunk. I just had a massive sugar headache.
Yeah, it's so bad. It was the first time I ever got drunk. Anyway, moving on. Adjust our seats.
Yeah.
Grab a drink. And let's get spooky, but first, here is a toast to all you beautiful motherfuckers. Just like the new Katy Perry.
Hey, you got to crack that Colt 45.
Oh, yeah, I'm cracking my Colt 45.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be so good and refreshing. Bottoms up, bitch.
Oh, that's nasty. That is so gross. Oh, my God.
Corn tastes like corn syrup and acetone.
That's exactly what it tastes like. Did you have one before me?
No.
Oh.
I'm not that dumb.
Oh, man, what is that weird aftertaste?
It's the 45.
That's called depression, is what it is. Yes. So Colt 45 is what I'm drinking right now. Anyway. And I promise I will drink it and have it done before the end of the episode.
That's right, you will.
I am a man of my word.
I will make sure of it.
I know.
It's not even your word. I'm
I know.
forcing you to
I'm
do it.
a man of Moody's word. All right, so listen, we're going to start this thing off with a story. We're talking about the Union Screaming House in Union, Missouri. Right?
It is in Union, Missouri.
And it is an amazing story that I actually got the idea to do this episode is because I heard another podcast touch on it, and they did a little thing to it. And I'm like, man, I really want to dive into this further.
On a side note, I listened to like 3 other podcasts on this, and I'm not obviously going to name any names, but they were not good.
Sorry, guys.
Just had to throw that out.
It wasn't
there.
Alicia's podcast, though, because obviously hers is amazing because she has great taste.
Absolutely.
Right. I mean,
No,
just saying.
there was nobody named Alicia on any of them.
Okay, well, that's good.
It was all dudes.
Thank God. Wouldn't it be fucked
dudes.
up if one of them was...
I wouldn't have mentioned it if that was the case.
All right.
I heard the greatest podcast this week.
So I am going to be reading a first-hand account, first and foremost.
This is from the mouth of the man
who actually lived through this. And apparently there have been other people that have gone through whatever, but this guy actually decided to write what happened to him.
Yes.
All right. So this is from Steven LaChance in 2004.
So this was, all right, real quick preface too. This happened in 2001 is when the incidents happened, the incidences. And he wrote this in 2004 on an internet like forum or something like that, in his own story, whatever. And then later he would come out with a book, I think in 2007-ish.
Right.
Called The Uninvited.
Correct.
And I leafed through that.
Leafed
online because I found a PDF online, and trying to read that shit is annoying on a phone. And but so there was a couple of differences that I noticed in the book from this story, which we could touch on later. But
hold on a second.
So this was originally posted online. His story that he originally posted online in 2004. Yeah.
I'm actually going to take a picture and post this up on
buddy,
on Instagram right now.
Wait a minute. Why don't we do this?
Oh, why don't you post it for it? There you go.
No.
What are we doing? Oh, boy. By the way, if you drink Colt 45, please have your entire life evaluated.
Oh, shit.
You ain't kidding, pal.
Yeah, because, oh, my God.
There are better beers.
I saw people saying, like, Steel Reserve and everything else. Steel Reserve, I could actually drink Steel Reserve. This is rough.
Yeah, no, this is gross.
Are you snapper chatting? Or
No. I'm just taking a picture.
Are you twittering? Is that what it's called? Twittering?
Are you ready?
Logan, you're smart.
Go ahead, bottoms up, man.
Tweet. Chug.
Oh, there's no chug in this.
Hold on. Just hold it. Let me get it. Just hold it next to your pretty face there.
It's so gross. See what I do for you,
Damn it,
people?
hold on. All right, you ready? There we go.
Hey, you good? Hey, fuck off. Okay. I love how everyone just fucking like blasted me too. Everybody like I literally started this thing and started building this community and getting everyone, making sure every week we have a podcast for you to listen to, and you motherfuckers wanted me to drink some nasty shit. You fuckers.
That's the better of the options that I had, but I couldn't find the other ones that I wanted to get you.
It tastes like it's literally melting the inside of the can.
It probably is, dude.
Anyway, moving on. So this is his account. This is Steven LaChance. This is his account here. So
yes,
starting here, and we'll let you guys know when it's over. It goes for a little bit. So
yeah.
Do you believe in ghosts? I used to be like many of you. I was a true skeptic, a true disbeliever. That was me until 3 years ago. Now I do believe. I wish I didn't. It would be easier for me to sleep at night. Even now, 3 years later, I'm still woken up in the night by the memory of the screaming man, the child in pain, and the dark, ghastly image that turned my world upside down and changed my beliefs forever. I do believe in ghosts. That's pretty.
Bum.
Dude, I'm getting a little chilly.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little chilly from this.
Dude, I'm telling you, man.
45.
Yeah, dude, and I've read this. My God. I've actually read this numerous times, and each time it gives me fucking chills.
Yeah, bud.
So, moving on. It was in May 2001. I needed desperately to find a place for myself and 3 children to live in Union, Missouri. Our lease was up at the apartment where we had lived for 2 years. I was a single father, and I was about to find myself and my children homeless. Like many, I had answered just about every ad in the newspaper for rentals. One evening, I received a call from this woman telling me about this house. She said it was a rather large, old house that was in very good shape. She invited me to an open house, which was to be held that coming Sunday. Sunday rolled around. You can't imagine the surprise when my daughter and I rolled up in front of this large, old white house. We walked in. The smell of cookies baking hit us immediately. Booty just looked up and perked up.
God, I'm so fat.
They hit us immediately upon entering through the front door. To our surprise, we were standing in the living room with cherubs surrounding the top of the walls all the way around the room. All the original woodwork was intact, and a large wooden pole. Damn, I can't talk right now. I'm thinking of cookies. Sorry.
You mean right now?
A large wooden pole ran to the ceiling, creating a divider which separated the living room from the family room. The house had 2 floors with 3 bedrooms and a large family kitchen with a mudroom that led to the back door. The upstairs bedrooms had a breezeway that could be accessed from all rooms. So it sounds like a nice house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nice. It's like an old house.
It's got
nice
cherubs on the top.
Cherubs.
So, Smashing Pumpkins is cherub rock. No? Anyone?
No, I get it.
Just was okay. Anyway.
People just
I'm
like
into this right
cherubs
now.
are just like fat babies, though.
I thought it was a.
That's what cherubs are.
Oh, that's a cherub.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a
like,
statue of a fat baby.
Who gives a shit? It's
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
it's like,
Hey, baby.
hey, baby,
Hey, baby.
shut up, man, I'm working.
That's a drink. That counts.
Yeah,
Drink up, Dad.
That counts. Oh, motherfucker. God.
Oh, dude, that looks so good, though.
Oh, dude, it tastes like...
You want a sip?
It almost tastes acidic every time I drink it. It's so...
It's hairspray and corn syrup.
Oh, it's so bad. So the basement had an old butcher's shower and a fruit cellar. It was more house than we ever imagined for the price, and immediately made up our minds that we had to have it. Anyone who has lived in an apartment for 2 years with 3 children would understand our desperation. We had to have this house. Okay, so obviously he's desperate. Sounds like a great house.
So real quick, backstory. So it's not in here, but in the book, he talks about how his wife basically, after they had their 3rd kid, I believe, she was just kind of like, nah, fuck this, I'm out, and just rolled out and left him, which is why he's a single father. So they were having a hard time finding a place. They were like cramped in an apartment, which is why they were trying to find a bigger place. So they needed something with room and space, and that's why this was so appealing to them.
What a bitch.
Yeah.
Just saying.
No, absolutely.
Ugh.
She basically was something along the lines of she didn't want to be a mother or wasn't ready to be a mother, and this isn't what she wanted, and then she just fucking...
So she realized that after the 3rd one?
I know, right, dude? Yeah, you'd think that you'd figure that out pretty quick after the first one.
Right.
Yeah, that sucks.
But who the fuck knows, man?
Yeah. Shady. So, by the way, another preface on this, too, is that there was a lot of grammatical errors and
it's
stuff.
Not my
in this.
fault this time.
It is not yours, and I tried to fix it up as well as I could. But I also didn't want to take away from the fact that this is what he wrote. So.
Right.
So we spoke with the landlady, and she gave me an application to fill out. There were many people who were there looking at the house, so we knew we would have to compete to be its tenants. I handed my application to the landlady. Said, you understand the responsibility that comes with living in an old house such as this, she asked. Oh, yes, I understand. It's beautiful. I quickly replied, not really understanding to what I was agreeing to. Well, then I will get back to you, she quickly reported, and was off to peddle her wares to another of the visiting house hunters. She was a strange old lady, and the way she showed the house wasn't in a real estate type manner. She showed the house as if she were showing a museum. We felt like we were on one of those house tours often given each year for charity. Okay, so she's kind of weird, right? Mm-hmm. The lady's kind of weird. Yeah.
Just a wee little bit.
Not weird. Just a little off-putting, maybe?
Yes.
A week went by before the phone rang one evening. It was the strange landlady, overly excited to tell me that she had selected me, my daughter, and 2 sons to live in the house. I was to meet her that following day at a restaurant to settle all the paperwork and payment. I thought this was a little strange, and I was a little disappointed because I couldn't wait to see the house that would now become our home. The papers were signed on the following day. That weekend was Memorial Weekend, and we were all set to move in. It seemed like years before Friday came that week, but we were finally there. Moving day. The move was a normal one, and before we knew it, all of our belongings were hidden safely inside the old white house. I was removing the last few items from the moving truck when a car slowed down, almost stopping in front of our new home. From the window of the slow-moving car, the passenger said, "Hope you get along okay in there." Or, excuse me, I actually read it wrong. "Hope you get along okay here," and then sped up and drove away. "What do you think of that, Dad?" my puzzled daughter asked. Friendly neighbors, I suppose, I replied as I shut the sliding door to the truck. The first night in the house went by without fanfare. Maybe because we were so tired from the move. What the fuck?
I'm giving them a little sneak preview.
Oh,
A little bit.
hi.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Dude, drink it up. On live. You're live right now. People are watching. Yeah.
Fucking
Deliciousness.
So maybe because we were so tired from the move, or perhaps because the house wanted to draw us in a little closer before beginning its series of attacks and assaults upon me and my family. The next morning started like most any other day, except I did notice one strange thing about the house. Each of the house's interior doors had an old-fashioned hook and eye latch, but not on the inside of each room's doors to keep someone out. The latches were in the outside of the room's doors, as if to keep something in.
Nice. He did it.
I got you. See?
They couldn't hear that, but that's fine.
It was the dun-dun-dun.
What is it, Dad? My youngest son asked from
All right, we
behind.
out.
Bye.
Deuces, bitches.
Oh, nothing, I replied, and went about the business of unpacking our things. The first incident happened in the living room when I was when I was hanging a large picture of two angels. My daughter thought that this would complement the cherubs that surrounded the room. I hung the picture and turned to walk away. Crash. I turned to see what that the picture had fallen to the floor. Hanging the picture once again, I turned away. Crash. The picture once again on the floor. Hanging it for a third time. When I started walking away, I felt a rush of air and something hit the back of my ankles. What the hell? I turned to see the picture lying at my feet. More determined than ever, I hung the picture again and stated loudly, "Stay there, damn it!" I had to laugh because I was alone. Who did I think I was talking to? The kids were playing on the front porch. "Dad, come and see this," my daughter's voice rang through the front door. I stepped out onto the porch. "Sit down and watch this," she said excitedly. "Watch what?" I replied. No sooner were the words out of my mouth when my daughter pointed to an old man walking down the sidewalk toward our house. However, when he reached our property line...
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
However, when he reached our property line, he quickly crossed the street and continued his walk on the opposite sidewalk. "They don't like walking in front of our house, Dad. Isn't that weird?" My daughter, breathless with excitement, stated, and right she was. I sat on that porch for a good 3 hours watching our neighbors cross the street away from our house anytime they walked along our street. A couple of times I motioned as if to say hello, but they just dropped their heads and continued on their way at a brisker pace. Maybe they were uncomfortable with new neighbors, I rationalized, trying to make sense of the senseless situation. We went inside for dinner, and the rest of the night went normally without incident. Okay, so it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it's weird.
Obviously, there's something.
I mean, I'd be cool with that. People just leave me the fuck alone.
Absolutely.
Hell yes.
Stay off my
I'm
lawn.
going to go move into that house.
Want a roomie?
What?
Want a roomie?
Yeah, dude, let's do it.
Sunday, the kids came home from church excited because we had set aside the whole day to work on our yard. Which I find weird that kids want to work on a yard, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, I can't even get my kids to pick up their goddamn garbage.
Right, exactly. Yeah, got good kids, I guess. This was a big deal for us because the only outside area our apartment provided was a front balcony. We mowed the grass and cleaned out the leaves from under the porch and in the front yard. Strangely enough, the trees seemed to be shedding their leaves as if it were fall. Strange tree behavior, I thought, and made a mental note to mention it to the landlady when I talked to her next. I asked my youngest son to go inside and bring out the garden hose from the basement so we could clean off the walkways and wash down the weathered white of the house. Kind of odd, you know.
Yeah, the trees are being jerks.
Yeah. Every time you scrape it up, it's like...
That's some strange tree behavior.
That's very strange tree behavior. I don't think I've ever said that before.
Never heard that before.
This guy must be a tree behavioralist.
Yes.
Is
that a thing?
Tree psychologist?
Yeah.
Yes.
A few moments passed when I heard him screaming from inside the house. Running frantically into the house, I found him standing in the kitchen shaking in the middle of a puddle of urine.
Oh.
"What's wrong? What happened?" Looking at me with the scared eyes of a child, he said, "Something chased me up the basement steps." "What chased you?" I asked, already thinking the overactive imagination of a little boy was at play here. "I don't know, Daddy, but it was big." Me and my other two children checked the basement but found nothing except for the garden hose that had been dropped during his fright and escaped. "Let's get you cleaned up," I said. Naturally, there was teasing from my other two children about the proverbial basement monster. "Better watch out when you go into the basement because..." Little fuckers. He didn't say that. I said that.
He probably said that too.
He probably said that too.
I know I would have said that.
The glare of my eye finished my middle boy's sentence. In other words, he looked at him like, don't you finish it, don't you?
Ooh, I swear to God.
Go ahead. You go ahead and say that.
Why do you guys sound like Popeye?
You'll get there, pal. You'll get there.
Speaking of getting there.
Oh, another swig.
I don't have another beer. I got to drink this.
That's right. You're not drinking anything else until that's gone.
Oh, dude, I would chug that down and be fucked up for the rest of this. I don't give a shit.
What is it, like 8%? It's like 8% alcohol.
No,
right?
it's like 5.6. It's not too bad.
I thought that was one of the higher ones.
No, it's 8% acid and battery
I was
fluid.
gonna say it's 8% battery acid.
So the rest of the Sunday and Monday went without any other incidents, and we were so happy those first few days in the house. My daughter was making plans about gardens, decorating, and my boys thought it would be easy to walk to their baseball games because the park was very close. It was a normal, happy time, which unfortunately did not last for long. Monday came, the last week of school for my kids and a long week of work for me. Each day we would leave the house and return each evening to find every light in the house turned on. I blamed the children for leaving the lights on in the morning. However, on Friday, my daughter and I sent the boys to the car while we toured the house, making sure that every light was turned off. That night, we returned home to again find every light burning. When I walked into the house, I was a little shaken. There being no logical reason for all of the lights being on other than there was someone in our house. Searching the house in a panic, I found nothing. "Daddy, it's cold in here," my daughter stated from the living room. What was she talking about? Sweat was pouring down my back and across my brow. However, when I stepped into the living room, the temperature dropped a good 30 degrees. That was the first time I felt its presence. I can't describe it any better than it felt like an electrical current running through my body, bringing tears to my eyes and bumps to my arms. It passed quickly. I remember thinking, what the hell was that? Soon my daughter stated, "Daddy, it's getting warm in here." And sure enough, the temperature was rising as I watched the thermostat climb. That night, my children slept with me. What little sleep I got. All right, so that's kind of fucked up. Not gonna lie,
Dude, I'm telling you, it's the cold spots. When I had my one like big, just the look on your face every time. When I had my one like major like experience or whatever, that was like the biggest thing, man. Everything was normal, and then all of a sudden, like I fucking could see my breath. You know, it was crazy. Get that cold spots.
So hold that because I want to talk later on. Yeah, let's talk later on about that.
All right.
Sunday night, we were sitting in the living room talking. I was getting ready to take a trip the following morning to Indianapolis for work, and we were discussing their plans for a stay at Grandma's. The kids had their bags in the living room, for which I am still thankful because the memory of what happened next still haunts my dreams to this day. Oh, they had their backs to the living room. Sorry. They were turned away from the living room.
He was looking into the living room.
Right.
And they were like facing him, yeah.
I noticed it first out of the corner of my eye. A quick glance. Something moving, standing at the kitchen doorway that led into the family room. Not something, someone. I looked toward it again. It was a dark figure of a man. Even though there was full light, he was solid in form, except there was a moving, churning, dark gray, black smoke or mist that made up his form. I looked down because I was sure I wasn't seeing this and that my eyes were playing tricks on me. One or two good rationalizations, and we could go on with our lives without incident. A few moments passed, and I was sure that when I looked up again, that it would be gone. But he was still there, and he began to move. Moving into the family room and pausing in the center of the room, his form was still a mass of churning, turning blackness. He stood there for what seemed an eternity, but in actuality, it was only a few moments, and then he melted into the air. Gone. I remember the thoughts that were racing through my head. I have two choices. We could run out of this house screaming in the night like those crazies you always see in the movies. You know, the ones that are always based on fact. Or the other choice, we could get up quietly, leave the house, and figure all of this out. My hands were shaking uncontrollably. That's what we'll do. We will go quietly, orderly, as if nothing was wrong. Seems fucking... He's a good dad. Like, he's not trying to fucking...
He's not trying to freak
his kids out. He's not trying to fucking lose his shit or anything.
Plus, I feel like in the back of his head, he's like, if we do this in a calm fashion, it kind of will show whatever the fuck that was that we're maybe not afraid of it.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas if you just turn around and go, fuck, and run out the house, the thing's just like,
Daddy, where'd you go? Fuck you!
Not like mommy. Sorry.
wow.
Whoa.
That was rough. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Fuck.
Standing up on shaky legs, I said in my calmest daddy voice, "Let's go get a soda and see Grandma."
Fuck yeah, dude.
I need a soda and Grandma sounds good.
That does sound great.
My youngest was instantly excited at the prospect of a soda before bed, and the older two looked at me as if I had lost my mind. Come on, guys, it'll be fun. Thank God my car keys were on the coffee table in front of us. We moved orderly out the front door and turned to lock the door when a loud, painful scream of a man came from inside the house. It sounded as if he was screaming in pain, so loud that it could be heard throughout the neighborhood, and the dogs began to bark. To hell with orderly. Get in the car, I screamed at my children. Sounds about right.
See, yeah, but I don't like being yelled at. I would have fucking... No ghost is going to out-scream me, dude. Fuck that thing. I'd open that door and be like, fuck you, as loud as I could.
Shut the front door.
Shut up! At a dead run, we headed to the car and to drive to my mom's house, which is still a blur to this day. I was in a panic, and I knew that we had to get away from the old white house. But before we were away from the neighborhood, my youngest son, in a very scared voice, said, "Daddy, the basement monster is standing in the upstairs window." I looked back, and sure enough, the black form was standing in the window watching us leave. That night, we stayed at my parents' house. Early the next day, I gathered my things and left for my business trip. I had a whole week of rationalizations by the time I returned home to pick up my children. Where else were we to go? I had put everything I had saved and then some into the move. We had no other choice but to go back to the big, old white house. Besides, after a week of talking myself out of the events of that night, I was ready to return, so on Friday night, we returned to the house. The weekend went by without incident, though we got very little sleep. I mean, I guess if you're away from it, you start rationalizing things.
You start to be like, okay, maybe we all just kind of got in each other's heads. And
right.
So the other thing in the book that he talks about that it doesn't say in here is that it started with like just the little things like the picture falling off the wall. And then at first it was just like the bangs and the scratching and stuff that like, you know, and he would rationalize all that in his head because he would say that, you know, he used to be religious and then he basically was like talking about how God, like basically if there was a God, it was a very unjust God and he didn't want to be a part of that. And so then like with the whole putting the picture of the angels up and then it was falling down and shit like that, like he found ways to rationalize shit because he basically said like, if I no longer believe in God and I no longer follow that,
then I shouldn't believe in this.
Then I shouldn't be believing like demons and possessions and hauntings and stuff like that. So, and he would say that like, he would hear like thumps, like people knocking boxes over, something like that. And he would always think that it was the kids playing. Right. You know, he would be like, oh, the kids are upstairs. They must have done something. And if they were all downstairs and they heard it, he would rationalize it to himself by like, someone must have put something on the edge of a table or just kids being kids and like not paying attention. It would fall over or the house is settling. Right. Because it's an old house and they make weird noises.
And that's something I feel like we all do. I think we all do that. We'll hear something and be like, oh, that must be the dog. Or that was probably just the
I'm like the exact opposite. I hear shit. I'm like, ooh.
It's a ghost.
Yeah? All right.
Come and show me.
I just look at my wife and she's just like, shut the fuck up. Don't say it.
He goes on to say, I was taking another extended weekend to make up to my kids for my week away. On Saturday, we explored the big shed at the back of the yard, and in it, we found a number of personal belongings that appeared to belong to different people. My parents convinced me that maybe it wouldn't be such a bad idea to call the strange old lady and ask her some straightforward questions about the house. It was to be one of the most awkward and strangest phone calls of my life. Once I was able to reach her, I carefully chose my words and asked in a normal voice if any of the previous tenants had ever mentioned a ghost. Well, of course, she said at first that she could not remember. However, she went on to say that one female tenant had claimed that her dead father came to visit her, but the old woman always thought she was crazy. The landlady said that some of the stuff in the shed had been left behind by the girl, but she couldn't get her to come pick it up. The other stuff in the shed evidently belonged to a man who had lived there, but left in the middle of the night, leaving behind his things. But no, she had never heard of anyone talking about the house being haunted.
No.
I asked her, how long ago did these people live there? And she said, not much more than a year, honey. Why do you ask? The phone call wasn't of much help, and it didn't calm my fears much, but what else could I do? So someone just leaves their shit in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Seems a little suspect.
Another weird thing is in the book he talks about it being a guy, like a landlord, not like a landlady. So he talks about it being a dude So that's kind of weird. Like, there's a couple of things that kind of throw me off, and I don't know why it
Did
changed.
he change it just in case?
I don't know. He kind of made
made
the guy in the book like kind of like an over the top caricature almost. Like,
so
talking about how he
wrote
had
a book.
like. Yeah.
Where
like,
this was
he talked about how he had like a wig, and the wig was always like off, and it was like this whatever. And
over anecdotal.
in the book,
stuff.
in the book he also mentions that early on that he asked about the house, and the landlord said, "Well, if you want, I know a priest. If you want like a priest to come over, maybe bless the house or something," which he thought was weird too, because he's like, if nothing weird ever happened here, why would
you offer me a
why would she suggest that?
Yeah, that's weird.
So, and that was like before, that was earlier.
Okay.
So
the rest of the long weekend, it came and went. I actually had convinced myself that it was just a one-time ordeal because nothing more was happening. That was until Monday night. I was on the phone with my mom. The kids were off playing in my bedroom, which was located on the first floor. While on the phone, I began to hear the inside doors rattling. Listening closely, they rattled again, and I yelled at the kids to quit playing games. I told my mom that everything was okay, just the kids playing tricks. They rattled again, this time harder. So I scolded the children this time louder to behave and stop playing tricks. At this time, they rattled louder, but before I could scold them, my daughter's scared voice cut me off. "Daddy, I'm here reading and my brothers are asleep." Kind of fucked up. Now, I will try to recreate what happens next to the best of my memory. Some of it I remember clearly. Huh?
Earthquake.
Some of it I remember clearly. Other parts are a blur to this day. Just as soon as I heard my daughter, the temperature in the house instantly dropped a good 30 degrees. With it came the feeling of the electrical charge running through my body. Along with its energy, a horrible stench that I cannot describe permeated the room. And then the screaming started. Softly at first, but building in momentum. Baby. Hey, baby. Hey. What the fuck?
Oh my God. Like started softly. So just picture you're like sitting on the couch, just hear like, hey.
Jesus Christ. So I yelled through the phone to my mother to come help. We were getting out.
Help me!
Then the whole house began to shake and come alive. From above, I could hear something large coming down the stairs. Boom, boom, boom. The screaming of the man over and over. Over and over? Over and over. That's that fucking Colt 45. The screaming of my daughter, "Daddy, what's happening?" Along with this came the thought that one of my two bedroom doors connected to the stairs. Boom, boom. It was coming down those stairs. I had to get my children. The whole house was alive with noise. The floor beneath me was shaking as I made my way to the bedroom door. I felt something behind me and I knew I didn't want to turn around to see it. Boom! Screaming. I knew a scream mixed into the man's scream. This one from a child. Hey. Hey, baby.
Leave me alone, I'm working.
Boom! Screams! Boom! I made it to my bedroom door, but it wouldn't open. By this time, I too am screaming. Throwing myself against the door, it still wouldn't budge. I continued to throw myself against the door again and again until it finally slammed open. My daughter was in shock by this point. I instructed my middle son to grab his brother and run out the front door and head for the car. Boom! Boom! Screams! My daughter won't move, and I finally had to slap her to bring her to life. Jesus.
Bitch!
Wake the fuck up. Hey!
That was just his excuse for being able to hit his kid.
Hey, baby!
Run, baby!
Finally responding, I grabbed her and head for the door as I hear the other bedroom door slam open behind us. It was on our trail, and I knew I couldn't let it reach us. The whole house was shaking and alive with noise and something big on our heels. When we reached the front door and out onto the porch, I slammed the front door behind us. As we got into the car, we could still hear the noise coming from the house. I drove away and parked at the top of the street where I could still see the house and wait for my parents to arrive. We could see it searching through the house. Searching for us. Its blackness moving from room to room methodically. That was our last night in the house. My children...
think?
Yeah, right? Yeah, done.
I'd have gone back.
I would have gone back too.
My children never returned. When I returned, I got a few of our things. On several occasions, I never went alone. Everything I brought into the house with me would also witness something happen. Or everyone that I brought into the house. Everything. And look, that stuff's looking at you. A scream, whispers, pounding from the floor above. It was not selective anymore. At who it would let hear its fury. I remember what the old lady said to me as I turned over the key. Standing there, the whole side of my arm and torso still bruised from throwing myself against that bedroom door, she said, "Some people aren't meant to live in an old house like that. And some people aren't."
Dude, I'd have punched that old lady in the fucking face.
I never thought you were the old house type. And I guess she was right. About a month after moving out of that house, a friend sent me a website address that she wanted me desperately to see. Put John T. Crow, Union, Missouri into your search engine, she said. When I did, the face of a man came onto my screen. The same face that showed up in a picture my brother took in the fruit cellar one afternoon while I was packing for the move. The man was famous. The land itself famous, with a history dating back to the Civil War. About a year ago, someone I know saw a police car race up to their house one night and witnessed a family running out of its front door in their night clothes. As for the house today, the old lady turned it into a dog kennel this past fall. I guess she ran out of people that could live in an old white house like that one. You see, I do believe in ghosts. I still drive past that house every once in a while, and when I get enough nerve, I look up at I look at the upstairs window, and it's there, watching, waiting, angry. Sometimes its screams still wake me from my sleep. Its infectious scream creeping into my dreams, turning them into nightmares. I still don't sleep very well. In my dreams, I see a faceless man grunting or standing in the basement, washing away blood from his naked, blood-covered body, grunting, panting, breathing. The breathing you'd hear when you were alone with it in a room. The breathing you would hear when you knew it was there. Heavy, labored breathing. Yes, I do believe in ghosts. I do believe in ghosts. And maybe you should too. You dick.
Well, we at least finally got Dad to admit that he believes in ghosts, so that's cool.
Dude, I don't know, man.
It's pretty intense, regardless.
It's an intense story, definitely.
Yeah.
It's like camping.
Yeah, oh my God.
Can we just shut up?
So, that is his story. That is what he initially posted.
Yeah, that was like the first recounting of the story that he told. Yeah.
And then
before,
obviously
he
he
wrote the
probably
book
went
and all
through
that
and then wanted to make it like
I
a better,
assume
more
that
intriguing.
I assume that he embellished a little in the book just to make it a little more, whatever. There's more to the story after that. I guess he talks about in the book where a couple of years later, like he found, like he actually got in touch with the people that were living there and they did a little thing. Like he went back to the house with that person and tried to so there's a little more to it after that, which, we can leave that for something else, but
yeah,
because since we're just telling like the main story about what happened to him.
It's fucked up. And look, I'll put it this way. Let's just say hypothetically that this is just a guy who sat around one day and decided to write a ghost story.
It's a good fucking story.
It's a good fucking story.
Yeah, it gave me goosebumps the whole time.
It's a good story, and it's crazy, and just the way he put it together. But the way he wrote it to me, it almost seemed like it was
rushed.
Well, no, it wasn't it's not a seasoned author.
Right. Yeah, he was just writing down his thoughts.
He was writing stuff down. So, truthfully, and I did go through and I fixed some things. Yeah. Just because it would have fucked me up reading it, kind of like when you write stuff.
Right.
But, yeah.
So he's like me.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, anyway. So it was really cool going through that. So now, I guess, you guys want to know who Captain John T. Crow is?
Yeah, they bring that up and don't really say anything about him.
Yeah, remember he was the guy that he said he saw the picture of his brother.
Took a picture and saw the face of this dude
and
in the cellar.
And they keep seeing.
I didn't look him up. I want to see what he looks like.
Well, we should post that up and let people see that.
Absolutely.
I actually found his actual obituary from 1923.
No shit.
Yeah, it's a little long-winded, so I apologize. This does come from 1923. From the Republican Tribune in Union, Missouri. Union, Missouri. You guys hear that? Union, Missouri.
Oh, he's a suave-looking dude.
He was a suave-looking dude.
Look at that guy.
Yeah.
So does that mean you're gonna read this in a suave voice? Oh, look at that guy,
dude. This dude, he was a ladies' man.
Yeah,
you should just tell. Man.
Throw it up on our Instagram and let people see it.
I will throw it up after you throw up your Colt 45.
God,
bro.
Dang it!
Dag nabbit. Delicious,
folks. If you're out there listening,
he doesn't look so good when he's old. He doesn't look so good when he's old, though.
Oh,
He's good looking as a young man, but he didn't age well.
So Captain John T. Crow died at his house 9 miles west of Union Monday night, April 16th, 1923, aged 81 years.
Oh, dude, that
Union. What?
it's the way you read that. And say, like, I was expecting you to say in Union, Missouri, but you're like, in Union Monday night. I'm like, is that a place?
Hold on. Died at his house 9 miles west of Union Monday night.
Thank you.
Is that better?
Yeah, there's a comma.
Let's get that pause in there. There actually isn't a comma in there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he was aged 81 years, 3 months and 19 days, have been born in the home in which he passed away December 28th, 1841.
The way that's worded is so
I know.
fucking weird.
It's 1923 words. So Captain Crow belonged to one of the most highly respected families of the county, and one that perhaps has been as long connected with the progressive spirit of the county, as any of the many prominent families that have left their imprint upon our county's progress.
Very nice.
Say county like 9 more times.
A couple more.
They're very proud of their county.
Captain, or Judge Crow, as he was sometimes called, belonged to one of the oldest families in the state as well as in the county. County. We're changing the game for right now. Every time they say county, everyone has a drink.
Dude, they're already dead. Leave them alone.
Yeah. His great-grandfather, Godfrey Crow. What a great
Godfrey
name.
Crow.
Godfrey Crow. Oh,
I don't know. Judge Crow sounds pretty badass.
I mean, it's pretty tough, too, yeah. Was born and raised in Germany and came to Missouri in 1796 and settled in... wait, hold on. Let me go back and say that. Was born and raised in Germany and came to Missouri in 1796.
Missouri.
And settled in St. Charles County.
Drink up.
My county. Damn it. I got a drink. You got a drink, too, you fucker.
Oh, okay. I got you.
This is so bad. Yeah, you've got something better than I got.
Yes.
Even piss water, it's better than this.
Yeah,
Ugh. So he married a Miss Green, the daughter of Colonel Jasper Green, who
I do declare.
I do declare, and was born in Virginia and came to Kentucky, where he took part in the Indian troubles and was a close companion of Daniel Boone.
Good old DB.
That's right. When the latter came to Missouri, Colonel Green came with him and settled in St. Charles County towards the close of the 18th century. Michael Crow and his wife came to Franklin County in 1808 and settled near Labadie. I think it's Labadie. I don't know.
Labadie.
Yeah, Labadie. March 1st,
Labadee.
March 1st, 1818, he was killed while loading a log on a wagon.
Oh, no.
Why would you laugh at that?
That's such an old-timey way to die.
How'd he die? Loading a log on a wagon.
Putting a log on a wagon. Done near crushed.
Yeah, he done been crushed.
Sounds like a sexual innuendo.
Yeah, putting a log on a wagon. It's a Cleveland steamer.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, what'd you guys do last night? I put the old log on the wagon, if you know what I mean.
I don't know, but I'm using that now. That's for now on.
Great. Grace will be like, what do you want to do tonight? Put the log on the wagon.
She'll look at me just like, are you stupid? Maybe.
Go home.
Yeah, maybe. So, let's see. The father of Captain John T. Crow, Martin Luther Green Crow, was born August 8th.
Martin Luther Green Crow?
That's his name.
Jesus.
August 18th, 1818. A few months after the death of his father, he was married to Jane Catherine Jump, daughter of Samuel Jump.
Good old Sam Jump.
That's right. July 25th, 1838. The father died November 14th, 1890, and the mother February 7th, 1891. Martin L.G. Crow was elected county assessor in 1854. At the expiration of his term as assessor, he was elected county judge, and in 1859 he became county clerk and served faithfully in that capacity until January 1st, 1871. There was like 5 counties in there. Drink up.
Yeah.
Just for this part.
Sorry, I'm busy working.
To Mr. and Mrs. M.L.G. Crow, 6 children were born. 2 died in infancy. One son, Samuel, died in 1886 at the age of almost 30 years. Miss William Lizer, the only daughter, died in Montana a few years ago, and one son. George Crow is, at present, living in Nogales, Arizona. When the father took charge of the county clerk's office in 1859, his son, John T., although only 18 years old, immediately became his father's assistant and main reliance, and remained to the office until President Lincoln's first call for 75,000 men to serve 3 months. John Crow was one of the first to respond to his country's call. At the end of 3 months' service, he returned to Union and enlisted in Company E, 26th Regiment of Missouri Volunteers Infantry. This company was organized in the southern part of the county in December 1861. It was recruited by Robert C. Crowell, who desired and expected to be captain at the election of officers. However, John T. Crow, who was just 20 years old, was almost unanimously elected captain. But owing partly to his youth, but more largely to the loyalty to his older friend, positively declined any office in his company, whatever. What? I don't even know what the fuck they're talking. This is a obituary.
Yeah, this is. Yeah.
Holy shit.
If it makes you feel better, I haven't been listening at all. So I don't even know.
Neither of our listeners. Jesus.
Hey, you put it in there.
All right, I'll fast forward a little bit through here. Captain Crow. Captain Crow had been a prominent Mason since early manhood. He was a member of some 3 or 4 old soldiers' organizations and always attended their meetings as long as he was able to do so with comfort. Captain, I ain't going unless I can sit down. All right, listen, if I have to stand, I'm not doing this. All right, you can't make me.
We need your help. Only if I can do it in comfort.
Captain John T. Crow was a patriot in the fullest sense of the word and proved it by his facing the enemies of this country in the most trying circumstances. He was always courteous and amiable in society and was always a gentleman, but above and beyond, all he left a family that are each and all in honor to themselves. I read that word for word. I swear to God,
That was good.
their country and the communities in which they live. No man could leave a greater or nobler heritage to posterity. Damn. So I want to listen. So when I die, can you guys write something awesome about me? Like,
No.
come on.
Be like,
It's going to be Chainsaw Sam.
John died. He had some kids.
No, it's gonna say Moody's gonna get up and be like, "Oh, he dead."
Just get up there with like a bunch of papers. Just like, I say you, he dead.
And then just walk off. Okay, so paranormal groups and the Catholic Church were called in to investigate this house that this guy stayed in. Historically, the home was supposedly built on the remains of a slave quarters cabin from the pre-Civil War era. Okay, so the house was actually on top of what used to be a slave quarters back in the day.
Correct.
Within 500 feet of the home was an older cemetery, while across the street in a separate home, a violent axe murder once took place.
Supposedly.
Allegedly.
I
Allegedly.
I told you I was going to look for that, and I looked it up. I Googled a lot of things.
I did too. I searched my ass off for that.
And I found nothing
I couldn't
about
find
a
that.
1974 murder.
Yeah. So paranormal groups have documented dozens
Dicks.
of EVPs and photographs of the activity in the home.
Okay.
Such documentation has not come without a price. While some
Uh-oh.
investigators have been bitten or
Ooh.
scratched.
It's because there's still dogs in there. Right? It's a kennel. He
Kennel
said
now,
it was
yeah.
a kennel.
So they walk in with
Forgot
the EVPs.
about the fucking dogs,
All of a sudden
man.
here. Ah, shit, it's a ghost. No, that's the pit bull we just took in last week.
Son of a bitch.
The Catholic Church issued a rare, this is kind of cool though, a rare 156-page report on the home, claiming it was indeed manifested with a strong demonic presence.
Well, we all know you can trust the Catholic Church. Hey!
I was waiting for the womp, 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 but that'll work too. The Screaming House was built in 1932 and was placed upon the actual spot, which was once the slave quarters, like we said.
Right.
In all historical documents, you will not find one incident where the captain admittedly was a slave owner. So it's weird, like when you go and do all the research on this, it's
Well,
like,
yeah, now it's never no one's going to say they owned a slave.
yeah, but I mean, even in the any
That's true,
historical
it says
documents,
historical documents.
yeah,
So.
like anything from the past, like you're not finding anything on that.
You know
And
what? Good
listen,
for
I
him.
researched. I even went on to like newspapers.com and stuff
I
like
even
that.
checked Wikipedia.
I even called my grandpappy, and he said he ain't never heard of him. Anyway, so the slaves were always listed as belonging to his wife Minerva, who came to Union, Missouri with her family
Minerva.
from Kentucky.
What is that?
Who had the Minerva to say that?
Fucking Hudson Hawk.
Oh, yes.
Her name's Minerva, the lady.
The crazy one. The
what's
bunny
her name?
ball ball. Yeah.
Oh, her?
Yeah, that's Minerva.
Oh my
What
god.
the hell's that chick's name, dude?
Oh, she's in a bunch of movies.
She was in
Skinny bitch.
She was in
Yeah.
Roseanne for a minute. She was
Yeah.
like Roseanne's like
sister?
neighbor or sister or something.
something like that, yeah.
What the fuck was that broad's name?
Bunny ball ball.
Drink up, by the way.
Fucking love that movie, dude.
Dude, it's so good and
That
everyone
is such a
hates
good
it.
movie. What the hell is her name? She's got some weird ass name, doesn't she? You know, there's this thing called Google. Anyway, so moving on, there is
I gotta
talk
look.
of Minerva having improper relation.
Sandra Bernhardt.
Hey,
Boom.
good
Yeah.
job.
Wow,
Look
fuck
at
Google.
you. You get an applause for that one. Good job.
Yeah, I don't have it. But
Oh, well. Hey.
Hey, thanks,
Golf
guys.
clap.
Thank you. Thank you.
So again, they say that, which is kind of fucked up. Do you think maybe because he was a captain and with prestige that they were
kind of hiding it?
He was like, well, no, that was her. That was her.
It's possible. It's possible. He could be like, look, I can't have this shit under my name.
Yeah, you can keep all the slaves you want. Just don't accuse me of anything.
Yeah. Well,
That's
dude, like,
fucked
so
up.
It could be a lot of, like, it's protection. Like, this dude that I used to work for, he owned the restaurant that I worked at, right? His dad was involved in, like, the mafia and shit in Cleveland.
I'm really glad it's where you're going with all this.
Yeah, I was a little worried there.
Ooh, I don't know. Keep going.
Go. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. But anyways, his dad was, like, involved in the mafia and had something to do with the hit on Danny Green.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Yeah, like, he was involved in all that shit, right? So this dude's got a fuckload of money, but it's all, like, mob money.
Oh.
So everything that this dude owns is in his wife's name.
Of course.
He has nothing in his name.
As it should be.
All the businesses are in his wife's name.
Absolutely.
And that's to protect the money and to protect him.
Why do you think everything I have is in my wife's name?
Because you're fucking pathetic. Because you have shitty credit.
No, I actually have amazing credit.
Mine sucks.
Oh, well.
Hey, good for you.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, it's just it's
seriously great.
probably
credit.
under her name, so people aren't like, oh, this fucking guy owns slaves. Oh.
Yeah.
Protect that legacy, man.
Yeah. Well, there was talk of Minerva having improper relations with at least one of her male slaves, which may have led to her death and the deaths of all her young male slaves on the property. Yeeks. One of the sources of this atrocity was an actual member and heir of the captain himself.
It's an atrocity.
It's atrocious. Captain Crow sold his land in Union, Missouri to A.J. Say, who later became the first governor of Oklahoma. Captain Crow moved to Beaufort, Missouri, where he spent the rest of his years. And we talked about oh my God, I cannot believe that how long-winded that shit was.
Yeah,
the obituary was. Oh my God.
He was a prestigious and prosperous man.
Apparently he was. Oh my God. So standing on the hillside overlooking Union City Park is a huge nursing home. In its day, this building was used as a Civil War hospital and was also used after the war as the county poorhouse.
Sure, there's no negative energy there.
Yeah. It is a well-known fact among Union residents that if you don't know where one of your ancestors is buried, they are most likely buried in one of the mass graves in the city park.
Oh, boy.
One of these mass graves is not far from the Screaming House.
I thought it was going to be like under it or something.
That'd be fucked up.
So in 1974, a replaying of a modern Lizzie Borden case took place almost directly across from the Screaming House, supposedly. In the next street over, a woman took an axe and killed her husband.
Supposedly.
Yeah. Once she had completed her dirty deed, she took a gun and committed suicide.
Supposedly.
There it is.
You might be thinking that a woman using a gun to commit suicide is uncommon, but
Supposedly.
not in Union.
Not in
Not in Union.
Every day.
Yeah. Several women have ended their lives at the end of a gun, and that's not funny, by the way. We're just talking about the way it was worded. Another house across from the Screaming House, it literally says, another house across from the Screaming House, a man committed suicide in front of his young nephew with a gun. That's fucked up. So all in all, there is plenty of reason for the Screaming House to be haunted. It seems the land on and surrounding the house is just bad.
There's
A lot of negative energy there.
oddly enough, so when I had started to look for that 1974 murder and suicide, and I didn't find anything, I did come across several other axe murders from back in the day up until like fairly recently in like the 2000s.
Yeah.
So apparently Union, Missouri has a thing for axe murder.
Well,
Yes.
it seems, again, like Moody just touched on something. Union, Missouri is rife with axe murders. This comes from Sue Blessing at emissouri.com.
Oh, emissouri.com.
A story from I'll quote it here. A story from a 1975 issue of the Record first alerted me to this murder, as the woman accused of the crime was then being housed in the jail at Union.
Oh.
I was particularly fuck, I hate that word so much.
Particularly.
Do it one more time. That was great.
Particularly.
That's good.
I was
Particularly.
drawn to the case because the account stated the perpetrator was the widow of Captain William Eads, whose steamboats had plied the waters of the Missouri, and the Mississippi rivers in an earlier era.
Mississippi.
Mississippi. Just Mississippi.
It's just the Mississippi.
Mighty Mississippi.
Mighty Mississippi.
Might have missed.
William Eads Sr. and William Eads Jr. were both riverboat captains. It is possible she could have been married to the younger Eads, who died in 1863 at age 27, but this is mostly speculation. However, the case was an interesting one, so I began searching for more information. I'll start at the beginning, drawing on at least a dozen resources. Oh boy. The murder was said to have taken place.
What an asshole.
The murder was said to have taken place on April 1st, 1872. At the time, Mrs. Eads was living on a farm in Jefferson County with a hired man by the name of Joe Howard, 2 children she had adopted, Lewis Merrill Taylor, age 6, and his sister, Mary Josephine Taylor, age 13.
Hey, my daughter's middle name's Josephine.
Is it? Cute.
Yeah.
Aw.
Okay.
I know. I think it's a pretty name.
It's a great name.
Also living in the home was Charles Eads, a young man she had raised and apparently given her surname to. Whether she had any children of her own is not known. According to an 1875 issue of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, Mrs. Eads was very abusive to the young children, often cuffing them about. I don't even know what that means.
Cuffing?
Cuffing, smacking.
Oh, is it the backhand? Is that what that
Is
is?
that what it is?
Cuffing them about?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm going to say that to my wife
Smacking
next time.
around.
Next time my wife gets out of line, I'll be like, don't make me cuff you about.
She's going to think that means
She's
something
gonna
else.
think
Yeah. She's going to run upstairs and be like, I'm with it.
Dude, where'd you go?
Yeah. Where you
Talk.
at, Logan?
Hello?
There he is.
What's going on?
Dude, like you were,
Was I cutting in and out?
yeah, you were like, well, you were gone.
Yeah. You was gone.
Hello?
There it is.
You must have been like, did you sit back?
No, I was in like this the whole time. My nose has been on resting on top.
Because you're an asshole then.
So, one day, 2 or 3 eggs were missing, and she accused young Lewis of taking them.
Oh,
That-
no.
Bastard!
Little.
Dick.
Time to get cuffed.
Oh, man. He denied having done it and told Mrs. Eads the dog was the guilty culprit. It wasn't me. It was that motherfucking dog.
Sure it was. He ate your homework too, didn't he, you little
Yeah.
fucker?
Not believing the boy, Mrs. Eads became enraged. She picked up an axe handle and struck the child over the head.
Holy shit.
He fell to the floor dead. Howard
Dude,
and Young.
she must have clocked the fuck out of him.
Yeah, well, it
I mean,
wouldn't
those-
take much. He's
those
6.
One,
Yeah,
but
those
one
handles,
hit
man.
with an axe, like that's,
But he's 6.
I don't,
Yeah, I guess.
see, you're gone again.
Why am I
Speak up.
Hello.
It's because you're talking like a fucking
Whoa.
Speak. Is it better?
So
Eh.
he fell to the floor, unfortunately dead.
One
Howard
shot,
and young
yeah.
Eads came into the house and, after seeing what had happened, volunteered to bury the body. Mary Josephine had been churning butter in the next room but had seen the killing. She ran away and hid. She was found and threatened with instant death if she ever told anyone. As was the case with several aspects of the story, there are 2 versions as to what happened to Mary Josephine. This is the daughter, the 13-year-old. According to St. Louis Post-Dispatch version, she was sent to live with her uncle Eldridge, who lived 3 miles northwest of Camden Point in Platte County. All right, so one says they moved off. The other one says that she was threatened.
it's fucking Uncle Eldridge. Dude.
Yeah.
If you can't, you know,
The record told a different story.
can't believe him. Who can you believe?
All right.
Yeah, true.
Not wanting to kill Mary Josephine, Mrs. Eads came up with the idea of sending her off into the wilderness and leaving her to starve to death.
Jeez.
Eads and Howard put the child on a bareback mule and took her 40 miles from the scene of the murder and left her in the woods far from civilization. In the meantime, Mrs. Eads left her farm home. After much suffering, Mary Josephine found her way to a house, but because she feared for her life, did not tell the whole story. She asked for help and said she wanted to go to the home of her uncle Eldridge, who lived in Platte County. So there you go. You see those little fucking weird shits going on there.
Yeah.
But the plot thickens.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh my.
Mary Josephine's uncle Eldridge had no respect for Mrs. Eads because she had been caught in a conspiracy to have her parents done away with so she could get her hands on their fortunes. So Mrs. Eads sounds like a dick. Like,
Yeah, a little bit.
oh my God.
Cunt.
Mary Josephine opened up to her uncle and told him everything. Both Mary Josephine and her uncle kept their own counsel until the day young Mary Josephine spotted Charles Eads in Platte County. She told her story to the authorities, and Eads was soon arrested. Her uncle believed Eads had come to Platte County with the intention to do him harm. While jailed, Eads wrote a letter to Mrs. Rebecca Boltinghouse, 2620. They actually have her address in here. From 2620 Papin Street, St. Louis. The Platte County sheriff at once suspected that Mrs. Boltinghouse might be Mrs. Eads.
Oh, that wily one.
He contacted the St. Louis chief of police and it was determined that his suspicions were right. Mrs. Eads, aged 40 plus, had been living as the mistress of Frank
40
Boltinghouse, a 24.
40 plus.
Well, what makes it? He's a 24-year-old brakeman on the Missouri Pacific Railroad. She's
Oh
a 40.
shit!
Yeah.
She's a coug.
Yeah. Jesus. Mrs.
Yeah, that was good.
Mrs. Eads was arrested. Frank Boltinghouse came to jail to see her, and they had a good cry together. They just I'm just reading what it's saying here. They decided to get married, and the ceremony was performed in the police captain's office. Mrs. Eads, who had been living with Boltinghouse since November 1874, was expecting a baby.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby. Both Mrs. Eads Boltinghouse and Charles Eads were jailed in Union for a time because an affidavit alleged the crime had taken place in Franklin County. The scene of the crime, however, was Jefferson County, and they were eventually sent to Potosi for trial. She was charged with killing young Taylor, and Eads was charged with assisting her in concealing the body. Good.
Jeez.
Fuck 'em. A change of venue took the case of St. Francois County, where Mrs. Eads Boltinghouse was found guilty of murder in the second degree and sentenced to 20 years in the penitentiary. Due to a defect?
Yes.
Shut up. In the charge on which he was tried, the judgment was arrested, and both Eads, Boltinghouse, and Eads were remanded back to Jefferson County to wait for grand jury to act on the case. In the January 1877 term, Mrs. Eads Boltinghouse was again indicted, but Charles Eads was released. A second change of venue resulted in the murder trial being moved to Iron County, where she was tried and found guilty of murder in the second degree. She was sentenced to serve 10 years in the penitentiary.
How'd it go from 20 to 10?
She got 10 less.
Yeah.
It worked out for her.
And the other guy got off scot-free. What the fuck?
According,
Well, maybe she had time served because it doesn't say how long.
yeah, that's true.
True.
According to a list of prisoners published in the warden's report, Rose B.R. Boltinghouse, white. I'm reading what it says. Yeah,
She just keeps getting new names.
yeah, just no. That's her skin color. They're
okay.
Kind of fucked up.
Yeah, a little bit.
Born in Ohio, entered the penitentiary on
Of course
November
she was.
23rd, 1881. The 1888 Godspeed history gives her complete name as Rosabelle Rebecca Boltinghouse.
Pretty name.
Eads.
So there you go. She killed this fucking kid who wasn't hers, and they chased her ass down, and that's about as close to
So
an
it didn't
axe
actually
murder.
happen in Union, though. She said they were held in Union, but it didn't actually.
Right.
So, but that's
It's the closest thing I could find.
Let me see here. There was actually in.
I'm trying to get this shit down. Oh my god.
How much you got left, buddy?
Chug.
It's just like
Just
fucking-
do it, man.
It's like half.
So apparently in 1982.
Okay. Jesus.
Oh, wait a minute. What? Never mind. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, fuck it.
Well, yeah. So what did you think you found?
Nothing. It said I looked up Union axe murder because there was a couple other ones in that area. There was one where like a whole family was murdered with an axe, and
Jeez.
it was like in that area.
Yeah.
Then I found another one from 1982, but apparently it was somewhere in New York.
It doesn't help.
Some lady got axed in the head.
Yeah.
New York?
I think it's kind of fucked up though that they refer to that as an axe murder, and when it was actually, I guess it was because it was the
Technically,
axe
it was an
handle.
axe handle,
Right.
though.
It's just so weird. So what the hell is going on in Union, Missouri? Jesus.
I don't know. There's a lot of shit though. If yeah.
Axe handle murdering women, a creepy captain that just won't go away, whatever it is that's haunting the area. It's a pretty amazing story, and we want to know what you guys think out there.
Yeah, it's all right.
Is this
not
house
bad?
Yeah, is this house just someone's overactive imagination, or is the captain still lingering about, attempting to wash the blood from his hands,
Captain
screaming
Crow?
and moaning, warning anyone that will listen?
Dun, dun, dun. That's where you would
It's
hit the
not
button.
really like a warning though. He's just like being he's just being an asshole.
So what do you think he's screaming about?
I don't know. Maybe someone stepped on his toe or something.
He's screaming in pain. So yeah, maybe the toe thing, or maybe he came around the corner and
Maybe it's not him. Maybe it's one of his slaves.
oh,
So
It could be anything, man. There could be like fucking 10 different ghosts in there. You don't know.
Yeah,
It said said this several times that it sounded like there were a couple of voices,
let's just
including
say
a Chitlin.
that what transpired with the author about the Union Screaming House
Really happened.
really happened.
Yeah.
And let's be honest here. How would you have handled the situation?
No idea.
Like, do you think that you would have like fucking just did exactly what he did?
I'll tell you what would my initial reaction would probably be like, all right, everyone get the fuck out of the house. This is fucked up. Like, I'd get my kids out. I'd get Danny, I'd get the wife out, get the kids out. And then my dumb ass would be like,
confront the
I'm
beast.
going back in.
Yes.
I'm getting a camera. I'm getting a fucking tape recorder. And I'm grabbing somebody else to come with me, and we're going in to see this motherfucker because I want proof. I want somebody else to see that bitch, and I want proof.
It'd probably be me.
Probably.
He'd probably take me with him
Need a
I
non-believer
mean,
in front of him the entire time.
imagine getting that call. You're going to get that
Shield.
call one
Yeah.
day. You can be like, dude, hey, I know you're working right now, but I need you to come over. You're going to be like, what, dude? I'll be like, there's something going on, man.
My first thing I'm going to say is, are you drunk and or high?
That's not the point. That's why I need you to come over to verify.
So we got all kinds of cool stuff to talk about after this. However, it's time for my favorite part of the show.
Hold on.
It's
the
movies.
There it is.
And now, boys and girls, it's your favorite part of the show, the movie review. Which top 10 movies will make the cut?
Ta-da. So funny. By the way, Jeff got married.
Yeah. 4th of July.
No. Dude, it's June.
He said he was getting married the 4th of July.
He got married.
Oh.
Yeah, he said fuck it and went and got married.
He's never going to remember now. He's got to go buy fireworks.
But he did, and I think it's super awesome. Congratulations to both Sam and Jeff out there.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Mrs. Buchko.
Here's looking forward to your many years of married misery.
Oh, stop it.
I'm just kidding.
We have 3 married guys at the table right now.
Yeah, and look we're all fucking miserable.
And you've been married for what, 13?
It'll...
Oh, no.
No, is it 11 or 12 this year? It's 11 or 12 this year.
And you're fresh. You're 4, right?
Yeah, I'll be 4 in July.
4.
All right.
Oh.
And
Where are you at?
I'm creeping up on 8.
That's it?
Yeah.
Feels like so much longer.
I know. Probably a lot more for her. Probably feels a lot more for her. She's probably like, this motherfucker needs to die soon. Anyway, so we are going to be talking about the 10 most awesome horror movies about haunted house attractions.
Supposedly.
So, of course, we talk about haunted houses, or we talk about movies about haunted houses and stuff like that. This one's actually about the attractions that are...
Yeah, I think we've done haunted...
we've done so many of those haunted houses ones.
It's getting tough to find...
So this first one is Dark Ride from 2006.
I've seen this one.
You have seen it?
Yes.
Awesome.
I have not.
Deemed too graphic for normal theatrical release, this incredibly violent and brutal slasher came out during the height of the torture porn era of the 2000s. Ugh. Starring Jamie Lynn Sigler of The Sopranos fame. This movie deals with a group of friends who travel to Dark Ride, an amusement park that also becoming the hiding place for an escaped murderer. And we can all assume what happens
this weird
next.
Little mask on, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was somewhat divisive amongst fans. Some saw it as a cheap collection of cliches trying to recapture the glory of 80s slashers. And others
That's how I took it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like an old 80s slasher.
Dude kind of looks like a knockoff Jason, so it makes sense.
Yeah. And the others just saw it as a violent but fun gore fest that was so common in that era.
Also that.
It wasn't exactly made for Oscar Gold, but if you're just looking for some mindless and bloody fun, check it out. Next one up here is The House October Built from 2014.
Yeah, it's good.
You've seen this one?
Yes.
You've seen The House October Built?
Yes.
Really?
It's on Netflix.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah,
It was on Netflix.
I didn't know October could build houses.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, you don't know.
Is it like a guy named October?
Possibly.
I don't know.
You don't know it's not.
True.
I know. That's why I'm asking.
That's why we're saying it.
What?
Taking the found footage approach, this movie is likely to make you... Yeah, I know. You hate those.
Fuck you.
I hate all those kind of movies.
This movie is likely to make you wonder about the behind the scenes of the next haunted house attraction you go to. Unlike Dark Ride, it has virtually no gore and instead relies more on tension and suspense, making the viewer feel like they're really there.
Fuck found footage films.
Yeah.
Fuck every single goddamn one of them.
Wow.
I've never seen one found footage film that I enjoyed.
Yeah, they all just give you a freaking migraine. It's amazing.
Not even that. They're just dumb.
Yeah, that too.
Name a good one.
I'm still trying to choke this Colt 45 down, dude.
I see that.
Oh, I'm
name
trying.
Name a good found footage film.
Again, I'll go back to Blair Witch. I like Blair Witch.
Blair Witch is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, now it is. But when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool.
It's always been terrible.
Your
Paranormal
face
Activity.
is fucking...
Paranormal Activity is stupid.
Yep, they're all stupid.
Wow.
What about Cloverfield? What do you think about that?
I hate that movie.
Same.
Cloverfield would have been good if it wasn't a found footage movie.
Y'all. I mean...
Keep them coming. What else you got?
No, there really aren't any. Yeah, there really aren't any.
A haunted house with the Waynes. Oh, can't tell me that was
I've
bad.
never seen it, but knowing what it is.
Come on.
Knowing what
bad.
it is, it's fucking
bad.
terrible.
It's
good.
bad, but
It was
it's good bad. It's one of those, like, it's the Wayans. That's what they do.
Yeah.
So this movie, it follows a group of friends who were stalked by a gang of killers at a haunted house attraction. The found footage POV nature does give it a more realistic feel, but if you're not a fan of the style, which obviously you're not, this one may be difficult to get into. The next one, coming up here, The Funhouse Massacre from 2015. This sounds about as low
good.
budget as you can fucking get.
Yeah, it does.
I think
wait.
See, I would love this one.
You're going to love this.
Oh.
Opening the movie with Robert Englund
Nice.
is always a step in the right direction.
Hell yeah,
The
dude.
Funhouse Massacre features a group of deranged killers who escaped the asylum and held them in seeking out a haunted house attraction based on their real-life crimes. They live out their glory days by unleashing death and horror upon unsuspecting guests who think it's all just for show.
See, that sounds fun.
It leans very heavily into satirical and meta humor, which works for the most part.
Perfect.
One particular deputy character is hilarious and steals particularly. Did I get it? No.
You got it.
Okay. And steals every scene that he's in. So there's one guy in there that actually just does it all. And the set design and visuals are really fun, perfect for getting you into the Halloween spirit. I've never seen it.
What's it called?
That one is called The Funhouse Massacre.
I'm going to have to check that out. Sounds good.
Massacre from 2015. The next one, and this is hilarious that they just lumped them all together. It's Hell House LLC, Hell House LLC 2, the Abaddon Hotel, and Hell House LLC 3, Lake of Fire.
I've seen the first one.
Yeah?
I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah, I haven't either.
It's not good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This trilogy isn't quite found footage. Rather, it purports itself as a faux documentary, complete with interviews with witnesses and experts. Interviews.
It's got them interviews in it.
One time I went down there, and they asked me for an interview.
Yeah, how'd that go?
I told them I didn't want to do it,
Why not?
because
You didn't want to do the interview?
I'm not
Isaiah?
there for their amusement. What am I, a clown?
You had chore to do.
Yeah, you are.
I am
You
not.
used to be, didn't you?
That was back in my old days, Moody. What are you doing?
Jesus Christ. So it says it's got found footage. Oh, it does have some footage of real-life news broadcasts, quote-unquote real life. The trilogy follows a haunted hotel called the Abaddon that was the site of murders during its hotel days and was also host to a tragedy when Hell House, a Halloween-themed haunt, sprung up years later. While the series does yield diminishing returns with each sequence, the original is legitimately terrifying and nightmare-inducing.
No, it's not.
Aside from a few over-the-top moments, one could actually be led to believe that it's a real documentary.
No, they won't.
Only one person could say that.
So you have seen that, though?
I've seen the first one.
Yeah.
I've never seen I haven't seen the sequel.
And it wasn't good?
It's not. It's
Like, at all? Was it watchable?
It's a faux documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's watchable.
Yeah. Depending on how high you are?
If you're high, it's probably not too bad.
Okay. So you weren't?
I was not.
Okay. Because you don't do that, right?
Of course not.
Okay. Next one is Fear Inc. from
See, I've
2016.
seen this one too.
You seen this one?
This one's not great either.
Some, I feel like,
better than Hell House.
That's good.
is it?
Yeah.
Some horror fans like to brag about what they would do and how they would survive in those situations, and Fear Inc. takes these claims and puts them to
Yeah,
to
the
the
premise
test.
was kind of cool.
The
The premise is kind of cool.
A titular company provides a personalized haunt service where the guests are fully immersed in seemingly deadly and terrifying situations with actors, all based around their favorite horror films. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Cool idea.
The premise is kind
Yeah.
of cool.
Okay.
The
Super low budget.
execution, meh.
Super low budget.
Not even super low budget. It's just not great.
Yeah. It's incredibly meta and self-aware, and while it does get a little too on the nose here and there, it's still a lot of fun, particularly if you're a fan of characters referencing your favorite movies.
That's that's cool. Like there's some cool stuff in it, but like overall it's just like blech.
Blech.
Speaking of which, remember I sent you a text the other day and told you I was letting my daughter Charlie watch
Evil Dead.
Holy shit.
Oh, man.
So we're watching Evil Dead. And
Wait, the old one or the new one?
the original.
Oh.
The original one.
The new one's fucking brutal.
Yeah, I didn't want her to watch that one yet. Yeah,
love
it's a little
the
too
new
much
one.
for her.
Yeah.
She's 13 going on 14 and she's
Yeah.
just starting it, and you know what I mean?
You
So
don't
I'm
want
just
to
like,
watch the new one yet.
but she wants to watch horror, so I'm like, all right, cool. This
a good one.
this is an old
Dude,
one.
my
It's kind of
my kids are 8, 5, and 4, and they love Army of Darkness.
right. See, I haven't let
Really?
her watch.
Oh,
She hasn't
so
not
good.
let her. We haven't watched that one
Yeah,
yet.
it's
That's the
so
new
good,
one,
dude.
right?
No.
No, it's from.
Oh, it's Army of the
it's
Dead.
from,
I'm
like,
thinking of.
yeah.
Never mind.
Oh, that sucked. By the way.
That's what I heard.
If you want my review on Army of the Dead, here it is. It sucked.
I heard one person say it was really good.
I've had, dude,
The dude at work, the dude was just like,
I've seen it both ways. It seems like it's either I love it or it's fucking terrible. There's
garbage.
like no in between.
It's garbage. It's garbage, in my opinion. Anyway, so we were watching it, and I forget what part it was, because you remember, it's Sam Raimi. It's back in the
cheesy.
70s.
It didn't, yeah.
The special effects are so bad. You can actually see where like their gloves were ripped
well, yeah,
when they were like doing
I think
stuff.
is that in the first one or the second one? One of them where she's up in the air and she's like flying around or whatever.
Yeah.
You can see like the dude's like shorts.
Yeah.
Because there's a big split in the suit. You know what I mean? Like,
It's bad. It's bad. It's so bad. Anyway, she looks over at me and she goes, "Dad, what are you making me watch?" And I'm like, what do you mean? She was like, "This is," her exact words were, "This is unsettling." So it wasn't bad. And I'll take unsettling for that movie.
No,
I'll
that's
take
good.
that. I'll take it all day
Dude, you
long.
got to think when that came out, that movie was like, people were like, holy shit.
Yeah. So, Bucket, I'm glad you like that, though you're not allowed
Now
to
you got to
listen.
get her to watch the second one.
She's not allowed to listen to podcasts, though. So I don't let her listen. I can't do it. So I'm overprotective. Whatever. Call it what you want. So the next one is Haunters, The Art of the Scare from 2017.
Never seen it.
Unlike Hell House, this actually is a documentary about the very people who put together home-based haunts.
Oh, all right.
We meet a wide variety of people from all... What?
Wide
We meet a
variety.
wide variety of people from all over whose only common thread is a passion for horror and scaring people. I don't even know where that came from. Just because they're wide. We see the spectrum from traditional fun haunts in people's yards to the extreme and controversial like Blackout and McCamey Manor, which those are fucked. Have you ever seen those?
McCamey Manor? Yeah, dude. I was considering...
You have to sign a fucking waiver and shit?
Dude, I started the process for that. I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to do it.
It's nuts.
No one's ever gotten through it. If you get through it, you get like $10,000 or some shit.
We should do a
Not much
fucking
money.
and like a bonus on just those crazy ass fucking places.
Let's do it.
It's crazy how the McCamey Manor, like how it started and stuff and where it is now. Like it's
It's fucking
it's like
crazy.
beyond a haunted house though. Like it's like abuse.
Like those ones where they like beat you up and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
I'm
Put
pretty
you in
sure
a
I have seen this now
torture.
that I'm talking about this now because they were talking about the whole thing. I'm pretty sure I've seen this unless it was like some whatever. So anyway, they seek to redefine what a haunt truly is. We also see the unfortunate toll that it can only that it can on these hunters' personal
Can take on.
the toll that it can take on these hunters' personal lives. Okay, because a lot of these guys are super like this is what they do,
Right.
And they
Yeah,
put
absolutely,
everything
man.
and they put all their money into it. They put
That shit ain't
everything.
cheap either.
No.
And then you
To
got
do it
everyone
good, to do it
around saying
right.
it's like too much.
Yeah.
And like there's people like freaking suing them and shit because it's like too scary.
Jeez.
And like but it goes way above. It's not just walking around a corner with someone with a fake chainsaw.
Yeah.
It's like you're being pushed into a fucking room full of actual snakes and then like fucking tied up
Yeah.
and shit. It's
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
it's crazy. Having to devote so much time to their passion project can often come at the cost of family time. And on a more personal note, being someone who has a family but also runs this very website is a passion project. It hit very close to home. This is from the, by the way, we're on Halloween. What is it? Halloween Year Around is what we're at.com. The next one is Hellfest from 2018. Anyone seen this?
I feel like I have. It looks vaguely familiar.
Isn't that like some
Definitely
big?
wasn't
That's a
good,
big music fest. Hellfest.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
like
that's
a
what
really,
this is
it's a
about.
pretty good music fest.
Yeah, I don't think this is what this is about.
All right.
In terms of spectacle and production art design, Hellfest really take the cake, or the pumpkin in this case.
Oh, that's good.
Womp, womp, womp.
It was shot in a real life theme park haunt in Georgia, and it really shows. The story follows a group of friends just enjoying some Halloween season haunt fun, but a mass it's the white lettering
with the black,
on the gray background is driving me nuts. But a mass psychopath is murdering people in the park and hiding the dead bodies along with other decorations. Its characters can be a little annoying at times, but the park itself is the true star of the movie. Watching it really makes you want to go there, and perhaps this year it will make you miss haunted house attractions even more. So it'll make for a fun, albeit bittersweet, watch this month. So listen, truthfully, if that's the case and it makes you want to go to a haunted house because of last year where nobody could go to anything, watch this movie. It's
Yeah.
called Hellfest. It sounds kind of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Next one is Haunt from 2019.
I don't know what that's about.
It's about a young girl
Uh-huh.
who... I'm just going to drink my Colt 45.
There you
You probably
go.
should.
Yeah.
That was a good choice.
I think you should get a nice big. Come on. Keep
Yep.
going.
Go.
Keep going.
Finish it, man. Pound it.
Dude, this is bad. I'm not even joking. Hold on, I can try. Hold on.
Just hold your thumbs.
I'm gonna gum up. I got this.
Here we go. Keep
right.
going. Go. Yeah, come on.
The face of agony.
Keep it up, buddy.
You're almost at the end.
Hey, there it is.
It tastes like it was made in a horseshoe. Oh, what the fuck? And by the way, when we're done with this,
Don't ever go on vacation again.
I'm never going on vacation again. So Haunt, plot-wise, Haunt is similar to Funhouse Massacre and Hellfest. However, where those movies loud and flashy. Wait, where those movies were loud and flashy. Do you see how it's written?
Yeah, I do. It's rough.
Haunt is quiet and suspenseful because the attraction they're in isn't all crowed, which was done for budgetary. What does crowed mean?
What the fuck does budgetary mean?
All right, anyway, just go watch fucking Haunt 2019. I'm not even going to read the rest of this. It's fucking horrible. Wow, that's really bad. Anyway.
Was that all of them?
That was it. That was all
okay.
it.
That was the
Yeah,
last one, yeah.
It was just garbage anyway.
Yeah, those were delicious.
So listen, we really hope you enjoyed at least trying to figure out what the hell was going on at Union Screaming House in Missouri. There's not a ton of information out there, but I just thought the way he talked about it.
It's pretty much all the same shit.
Yeah, and if it's a real story, like I was just very...
Because the only source you have is from him.
It's him. That's it.
Like a lot of these old houses and old buildings, you have many, you get a lot of stories of the hauntings, like people that live there and all the history in the house. And you don't really have that much of that here. Like you have the John T. Crow stuff. And then you have this dude's,
which it may
Steven LaChance. You have his account,
but the John T. Crow stuff, it may or may not even have any relation to it.
No, it might not.
You know what I mean? But it's like I don't know. It was just so weird. As I was going through it, I'm like,
seem like there's definitely some kind of like. There's a lot of weird shit happening around there. It seems like.
Yeah.
You know what this reminded me of though?
What?
Remember Reagan when she was like, not necessarily little, but like a teen.
You're talking about Ronald Reagan, right?
Yes, Ronald Reagan. When he had his first account of premonition.
Me and Nancy.
But no, Reagan and her like shadow people. Remember that?
Yes, she was going through that whole little thing.
That whole little thing with
we
shadow people.
should totally do an episode on shadow people. By the way,
shadow people.
Yeah, that's a good one. Because that's kind of a big thing.
Yeah.
Like apparently that's like very popular and like
It's
when people see shit.
Yeah, it's a very big subject right now. A lot of people are tackling that subject.
Yeah. Well, we'll do it like in a year. What do you think?
Okay.
Be done. Should be over by then, right?
Yeah, maybe.
So a lot of shit has been going on lately. Obviously, I know you guys are probably hearing this. It's a little bit late when you guys are listening to this, but for us, we haven't seen each other in like a week and a half over.
Yeah.
Almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I did go on vacation, went down to Dallas, and had a great time, except, however, here it is. I know. I'm waiting for it. Yeah, go ahead. No, I'm waiting. But I had some issues with American Airlines. Fucker. And that's why it's a day late. It's just
a day late?
Well,
it's 2 days late.
2 days late, yeah. And it's just whatever. I don't even want to fucking talk about it. Fuck American Airlines. I don't give a shit anymore. Like, I'm home.
Yeah, it's good,
and
man.
Whatever. It is.
You got home and you had a Colt 45.
Ugh. My stomach hurts so bad.
Just so you know, I bought the 24-ounce Colt 45 and a 6-pack of Tall Boy High Lifes. It was like $8. It's like nice, dude.
Where are the Tall Boys at? Or
They're in the fridge.
High Life? Can you grab one?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Buddy.
Thank you. Because I need something to wash that shit out of my mouth.
I could go get you another Colt 45.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that. It's so
also
horrible.
Would be if I walk back out with another one.
Oh my god.
Moody's gonna go grab me a beer real quick because I fucking did that shit. So yes, I did go on vacation, and it was an absolute a blast. I had so much fun. We went to Houston, and we came into Dallas, drove to Houston, then went to
San Antonio.
Got to go to the Alamo, which was fantastic. By the way, it was
beautiful.
so cool. Just the whole thing was awesome. And then we went to.
Did you piss on it?
I did not. We did keep talking about it if I was going to get kicked out of Texas like everyone else did.
You got to grab it like this.
Okay, thank you.
What the hell, man? Where's mine?
So
You want one?
it was very.
Don't trip.
It was cool. Like the Alamo was really awesome, and then we went to Austin. When we were in San Antonio, we did the walk, with the river walk.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
Such a cool time. Then we went to Austin and hung out there. Went to a really cool bar called the Crow Bar, which we walked in, and it was like my friend that we went to visit, that we stayed with down there, Jack, they're both very well-to-do, very proper, kind of like, I say proper. They dress properly. Yeah. They party like motherfuckers, man. I've never, holy shit.
When were you in Austin?
Right before the shootings.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, literally. It was like the next day is when that shit happened.
I didn't even know about that.
Somebody else was
There was shootings, and apparently there were shootings in Cleveland, Chicago, Austin, and somewhere else, like all in the same night.
We were there the night before that shit happened.
Congratulations.
Yeah, well, for not fucking getting
there?
shot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
So anyway, we went to Austin, went to that bar, Crow Bar, very cool. Walked into this place, and again, talking about my friends, how they're, everyone was dressed very nicely. We walked into this place, and it looked like, and I don't want to negate anything or anybody, because I mean, I'm always that guy wearing black and got tattoos and been in metal bands and yada yada. This looked like a metal bar.
Oh, nice.
So we walked in, and my buddy Jack was like, okay, I'm going to get my ass kicked. And I'm like, no, you're fine. And then he walked into a room, and like the outfit he had on, just the black light for some reason picked up the entire fucking thing. So he looked like one big glowing dude. And I was like, yeah, you're probably going to get your ass kicked. But they made some of the best drinks I've ever had.
Really?
Oh my God, they were fantastic. So you walked in, you go into this place, it's kind of dingy, it's dark, they got black lights, there's a DJ outside playing some weird house music and shit.
You've told me that you've gotten some pretty good Shirley Temples before.
Yeah, and Colt 45s. Yeah. But it was just really cool because the vibe there was like, once you walked in and you actually got your drink and stuff, you sit down and it's like, wow, this place is cool as shit. And it's so much fun. Anyway, from there we went to back to Dallas and went to the JFK Museum.
Yeah.
Which is a humbling fucking experience.
Is it?
Dude, it's kind of fucked up. Yeah, like just
well, yeah.
You get to kind of go, you don't really get to go exactly where Oswald was when, supposedly it happened. And but you look, you can actually see where the X's are, where the shots were fired on the ground from up there.
Oh, shit.
So you're like right next to where this happened. And then it's got this whole display and this whole museum where you can go through in the timeline and shit. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked up. And then we went upstairs to the next floor because it happened on the 6th floor of the observatory.
Right.
So we went to the 7th floor and they had like films playing, but they had a window open that was literally directly above where the shots were fired from the 6th floor. Jeez. So I looked out that window and was like, it's first of all, it's so much of a smaller scale than what you see in like
the movies
and TV and shit like that. So when you go to see it, it's like, what the fuck? So that was very cool. And then we went back and we just drank our faces off for the rest of the remainder of the time. And then American Airlines fucked us up, and I just got even more drunk. So thank you, Texas. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Home Texas.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good. So now, earlier we were talking about ghosts and stuff, and you said that when you had this thing happen, you felt the cold.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
And you probably, I imagine you had to have talked about this before.
Yeah, I think I brought it up at least. It was a long time ago that I told the story.
For new listeners, why don't you?
All right, yeah. So
rehash the story.
So I was like 15, maybe 16 at the time. I was working at a restaurant in Strongsville, Don's Pomeroy House, in case anyone's wondering.
Nice.
And it was the house is super old. It was supposedly a stop on the Underground Railroad.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of history, in the house. And I had heard stories about it being haunted. Like there's all the stories about how, like there's two parts. There's the old house, which was like the original building.
Right.
And then they added on to the one side, they called that the library. So there's all the stories about like you would go to one side of the building and blow out all the candles at the end of the night, and then go to the old house and blow out all the candles. And when you come back, all the candles are relit on the other side, shit like that.
Wow.
And so I had heard all the stories, and the guy who built the house supposedly hung himself in the attic. And if you go up in the attic, like right over the staircase, there's this fucking giant like wooden beam. And it's just like, yeah, I guess if he's gonna do it, like shit like that. So, but there's a lot of different stories. So one night I was I was bussing at the time. I was a bus boy, and The way it's laid out is in the old house, you have, I guess what used to be the front door.
Okay.
So like if you picture, you would walk in the door, and then immediately there's a set of stairs that goes upstairs, and at the top of the stairs there's a bathroom.
Okay.
And then there's a couple of rooms off to the one side. There's like the one room was like turned into offices, and then there was a couple of private dining rooms up there too. Like a big one for parties and then a small one for like 2 to 4 people.
Gotcha.
And then right when you would walk in that door to the right, like right up against it, is the server station where they had the plates and everything like that. Plates,
Right.
glasses, all that kind of shit. And
Yeah.
water and all that. So I was down there, and that's right at the bottom of the stairs.
Gotcha.
It's Johnny.
And so I'm standing there at the bottom of the stairs, and the other dude was upstairs getting chairs because in the bathroom there was an old shower stall that they didn't use anymore, so they put chairs in it.
Gotcha.
So he was in the bathroom getting chairs out, and I was downstairs getting plates and shit to take upstairs. And as I'm standing there just like stacking plates, it was that temperature drop. It just fucking, I was just like standing there just like, what the fuck? And I always say this, dude, like you can see I'm getting goosebumps telling the story. I always get goosebumps because I remember, dude, it's like it dropped, and I do remember like breathing, and like I was like, I fucking saw my breath. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And this was in the summertime.
Right, yeah.
And so it wasn't like the door opened or somebody opened the door, whatever it was. Like the temperature dropped, and I fucking like I saw my breath for a second. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then this fucking the dude that was upstairs, just I heard like down the stairs, man. Like I don't even know. He might not even hit like 4 stairs.
Jeez.
Like he might have hit like 3 stairs on the way down, just like fucking. Rah!
Right.
He gets to the bottom of the stairs, and he is pale as fuck. Like, I'm like, I just looked at him. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? And he's like, dude, he's like, I was getting chairs out of the closet. Out of the stall. He's like, I got one out, and I set it down. He's like, I turned to grab another one, and as I was turning around, I looked in the mirror, the bathroom mirror.
Yeah.
He's like, and there was a fucking old man standing behind me.
Oh.
He's like, and I turned around, and there was nothing there. And he's like, that's when I came running downstairs. And like, it was still like cold when he was telling me this. Like, it wasn't like see your breath cold, but like
It was chilling,
considerably like colder than it should have been.
Right.
And then like all of a sudden, like that just kind of went away. And then like right after that, like our manager came up. He's like, "What's going on?" And we're just like, I was just kind of like, nothing. But after that day, like that dude wouldn't go upstairs by himself ever again. He never went upstairs by himself. Someone would have to go with him. He would wait till somebody else was going upstairs. So. And there was a lot of other shit that happened, like a lot of other stories I heard that, like supposedly one of the managers was working by herself at the end of the night one night.
Mm-hmm.
And she was upstairs in the office, and she said she heard someone come up the stairs, and she was kind of like, what the fuck? And she said that an old man walked into the office, told her she was doing a good job and to keep up the good work, and then like walked out, and she was like,
what the fuck?
well, yeah, she was just like, the fuck is this guy? So like he walked out and he headed towards the stairs. So she got up and like followed him. And when she got to the stairs, there was nobody there.
That's
like shit like
crazy.
that. Yeah. And it's a creepy ass old place, man.
Well, good for that old guy for, applauding her.
Which, so, it's like he's the old man that hung himself and he's still around kind of thing. But,
Yeah.
And like there's some other shit about that place. Like, I think I've told you this too. Like, I found out so when I was working there was like this weird thing with all the mirrors.
Yeah.
They were always foggy and cloudy. Like you would spray it down with like Windex and wipe it and it would be clear, and then like it would just slowly fucking like and it would be cloudy every fucking mirror in the place. And then I found out like later, once I really got into
shitty
like,
mirrors.
It wasn't Windex. No, but I found out later on that like that's a thing like with hauntings is like the mirrors are all fucked up. Like if in like haunted houses and stuff like that, they can be like that. So
That's kind of crazy.
because if you follow your haunted shit, mirrors
A big thing. They're a gateway to hell.
or something, man.
Yeah.
What about you, Logan? You ever had anything like that?
Just Reagan scaring the fuck out of me with those damn shadow people.
Yeah.
It's about the closest I've ever gotten to that. I mean, I've Yeah, no, nothing crazy. No.
Wait till October, buddy.
So
I'm still fucking ready.
yeah, which by the way, and we're gonna make sure that everything's set up. And all you Patreon producers, I hope you're ready for it because we're going on an actual ghost haunting, and it's gonna be all three of us. We're gonna be there. We're gonna do the whole EMF thing. We're gonna whatever.
They have all the gear and everything
Yeah,
like that.
it's gonna be super cool. And if you guys want to hear and watch, because we're gonna make sure we're video recording everything. It's going to be pretty fun. And listen, the ghost hunting that we Logan and I just did with Bill and Katie and my wife Grace, we'll have that whenever I get the footage and shit back, or the EMF readings or whatever. We'll have that up there too. It was fun. It was a cool place, but nothing like, you know what I mean?
Ordinary.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was an old
mortuary.
Yeah, mortuary. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
in the basement of this place, you can actually go down and see where they used to like take the blood out of people,
It
and
was
like
like
there
the
was this
drains and shit.
There was like this low point in the floor and shit. Dude, I was going off by myself.
Oh hell yeah!
And Grace was just like, I'm not doing this. And she just left.
Yep. It was great. I didn't even have a flashlight with me. It was awesome walking around this big ass warehouse by myself.
So I've been so my ghost story, I guess, is kind of like it's a cumulative thing. So I've always,
you don't even believe in ghosts, though.
I don't at all. But I don't listening to other podcasts or whatever, and people talk about that there's two types of ghosts, ones that attach to things and ones that attach to people.
Yeah.
I feel that I used to possibly have a ghost attached to me. And the reason I say that is because I can remember
That poor ghost.
being a little kid and hanging out, and I remember playing with a big ass, and I may have mentioned this on the show before. I remember playing with like my big, back in the day, we used to have metal toys.
Fuck yeah, dude. I got my old Tonka fire truck.
Yes,
still.
I had a dump truck.
Yeah.
A big ass
You can
yellow
fucking
motherfucker.
kill somebody with
Yes,
those things.
absolutely. And yourself. Yeah, so it's fun.
Sharp corners and
Of
shit.
course, yeah.
Yeah.
You just drop it on your toe and you're fucked, you know? Like, it was just fucking, it weighed a ton. So I remember playing with that, and then my mother, which would be Logan's grandmother, they were hanging out in like, there was like the kitchen area, and she was there with a friend of theirs, and I remember that all of a sudden the music turned up really loud, and it was an old analog. Back in the day, if you guys don't know what an analog radio receiver is, it's basically got a dial on the front with a it almost looks like a ruler almost, or something like that, with a needle in it that would move the stations
move back and forth. Yeah.
And I can remember my mother saying whatever the name of the ghost was. I cannot remember what she used to call it, but she said its name, and all of a sudden the music turned down without anyone touching it. Like anyone touching it, like it just turned down. You can watch the knob just go woot like this. And I never really thought, I guess I kind of like pushed it away. But then as I'm starting to listen to these fucking creepier podcasts and stuff like that, I'm like, oh shit, I remember that. And then I would move, and wherever I moved, shit happened. Like weird shit. And nothing I've never seen anything. I've never had anything grab me, never had anything touch me. You know,
Except your wife. But
I've had all kinds of like crazy shit like that happen, and then it all, especially when I moved, like I think it all kind of stems from my house in Cleveland that I grew up in. It was weird because I moved back there, and then the house became mine, and all kinds of shit would happen. I would have friends that would come over and be like, "Dude, I can't stay at your house." Like, it's just fucking weird. I was at the Lorain County Fair, and. Hold on. Yeah, give me my noise. There it is. And some dude that used to be I don't know, he lived about 3 or 4 houses down, walked over. He's like, "Hey man, how's it going?" This is years after, right? I'm like, "Hey dude, how are you?" You know, and he's like, "Oh, good." He's like, "Do you still live in that fucking weird ass house over there?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, you know," because at this time I was still living there. And he was like, "Dude, everyone in the neighborhood thinks that's the most haunted house in the entire in the neighborhood." Like, they said that the people would see a figure walking back and forth upstairs in the attic, that lights would flash, that all this shit would happen.
That's just you having raves.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, dude, I'm just up there freaking being my best self. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you didn't see my ween, did you?
Yeah. I'd fuck me.
Oh, no.
But anyway, so yeah, he actually said that and whatever. So anyway, that's kind of like my experience with like the ghost shit, but I've never had anything malicious happen.
Yeah, no, I've never either.
Yeah, not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I had that weird shit happen in my house.
Which did I ever? So we went over there one time for a crawfish boil. Yeah. We went over to record a bunch of stuff, and we were recording all day and all night, blah, 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 and then all of a sudden, shit didn't work. Now, it could have been the ghost, or it could have been that I'm an EMP.
Or it could be the ghost attached to you is the EMP.
Dun, dun, dun. There it is. Maybe.
That was good.
Maybe that ghost is just fucking shit up. Maybe it's still me. Don't tell my wife. Dear God, don't say anything to her. She doesn't listen to the podcast, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's good.
Because she'd be like, you got to go to a hotel.
Where's the sage? Get the sage.
That's all right. We can fucking party then.
Yeah, forever.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, we could. Until the EMP just fucks everything up.
The
So,
hotel
passengers,
fixes
we really hope you enjoyed our, I guess, trying to tell the Union House of Missouri and the screaming
Yeah,
and
we were
the
telling
craziness.
the story of the Union House, man.
Yeah.
The
And
Union screaming.
it was hard to find a lot of information on it because it's all comes from
and like
from
I
one
said,
source.
I listened to a bunch of different podcasts, and it was just, it's all the same stuff. It's all the same because it literally is
It's one telling.
this guy.
Yeah, it's one telling. So listen, join us next week where we're going to be we're going to be talking about we do this little thing called our creepy.
Oh, we're getting creepy?
I've decided we're going to go to creepy West Virginia. So yes, make sure you're here with us next week because we're going to be talking about everything creepy in West Virginia, at least the creepiest.
I've actually kind of started on it already.
Have you really?
And I found the perfect ending for the episode.
Oh, great.
That's amazing. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm super excited about it because obviously if you guys are new listeners, I am from West Virginia. Thank you. And we'll be heading down there this weekend to go see my old man, Logan's grandfather, for Father's Day coming up.
Woo!
And happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there because our episode will drop after that next week. But happy Father's Day.
When is Father's Day?
Sunday.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Sunday.
So happy Father's Day to all you fathers and to all you mothers.
My kids don't care. Like, it's Father's Day. They're like, fuck you. I'm like, all right, I guess that's where we're at.
You're the reason I'm here. So listen, make sure to stop over to our official website, themidnighttrainpodcast.com. At our website, you can buy some super sweet merchandise where you can find our Fecal Fighter shit-eating robot t-shirt.
Yeah.
The super popular Don't Be a DeSalvo shirt.
Boosh.
Which
Got it right here.
Moody's actually wearing it as we speak.
Yep.
And the Switchblade wielding Jersey Raccoon t-shirt, which is so awesome. And a bunch more coming up. Like we're going to have the Speed one coming up soon.
Impossible.
Speed Impossible, which is just, when you guys see this shirt, it's so ridiculous. Oh, I love making the ridiculous ones. It's so fun. And listeners keep asking how they can help keep the steam in our engines. Well,
how can they help keep the steam in our engine?
well, I'm glad you asked. If you like what you hear from us, consider being a producer of the show by heading over to themidnighttrainpodcast.com and clicking on the Patreon button or at patreon.com/The Midnight Train Podcast. Now
you
listen.
gotta type that shit out there.
Yeah, we know that we are not your typical podcast, and we actually pride ourselves on that.
We're okay with that.
Yeah, we're 100% okay with that. We are not your typical thing. It's three guys sitting in a room, drinking some beers, bullshitting about some creepy stuff that we think is interesting.
I like it.
And,
Yeah,
that's all it is. So
if you like us, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for the support. You guys are awesome.
Yes.
And if you don't like us, you can fuck off.
That's it.
Yeah, fuck it.
That's it. For as little as $5 a month. What? Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, now I have to. You have to now.
No, you're good.
Okay. For as little as $5 a month, you can get all kinds of shit like a custom shirt, custom poster, custom sticker, bonus episodes like, the what we're going to be doing soon, tonight.
You better hurry, dude. I got to be back at work at fucking 3 a.m.
Yeah,
so.
you do. It's going to be the
do
Bible
shit.
we're doing, right?
The Bibli.
Yeah.
Devil's Bibli.
Devil's Bibli.
And I'm working on 2 other ones right now.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Good. I got a couple more in the pot too. So
Oh, very nice.
yeah, I'm super excited about that. So if you want to hear those bonus episodes specifically for our Patreon producers, make sure you sign up over there. And so if you're a diehard Midnight Train fan and you want to help produce this motherfucker, our Patreon is for you. For those of you rather leave a one-time donation because you're like, these guys are cool, but you have commitment issues. We get it. You can use the email address, themidnighttrainpodcast@gmail.com over at PayPal. Also, you can easily subscribe, and rate us on your favorite podcast platform. And most importantly, please share the Midnight Train to everyone. It takes only a couple of minutes, and word of mouth is how we're going to get more passengers on this train and continue to bring you weekly episodes and bonus episodes. We honestly can't thank you guys enough, and we know it's been kind of fucked up lately, but you guys are so awesome, and we love you deeply, deeply, like in some perverted ways that we can't talk about on here. Oh, wait, did I say that out loud?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
No, I didn't hear anything.
No, you didn't hear anything?
No.
Okay,
no,
good. Sorry. The inner monologue. Sorry.
And if you think that he was talking about you, he was.
I absolutely was. So listen, thank you again. And now it's time to talk about our superhero Patreon producers. Where is my fucking noise at, Moody? Thank you to... you dick. To Colleen Cox, Shannon Valiando, Mac Doherty, Gina Madison, Janet Sherrill, Heather Gilmore, Laura Randall, Chad Flint, our boy,
Yeah,
Cheryl
buddy.
Pierce, who was down in Texas, and
Yeah,
I wish we
and
could
you
have
didn't go to visit.
I wish we could have hung out.
You're an
I'm sorry.
asshole.
I am an asshole. Chris McLeod, Justin Kowalczyk, Rob Webb from the Funbox Podcast.
Yep,
Make
yep.
sure you check out the Funbox Podcast. Christina Skelton and Jessica Bartolome.
Oh, shit.
That's early. Christina Skelton and Jessica Bartolome. Oh my God. Christina Skelton and Jessica Bartolome.
Yeah, where are they from?
From the Sister Skelton
Yes.
podcast.
All right.
Not the Sister Skeleton.
They just did their new episode was haunted amusement parks and shit, and there was 2 of them from Ohio at least.
Yeah?
The Kings Island and Chippewa Lake.
Kings Island.
Yeah, there's some haunted shit in Kings Island. Yeah, so I told them, I was like, yeah, we got it, and they were like, well, you guys got a lot of creepy shit in Ohio. I was like, yeah, well, we got the hauntings, you guys got the raccoons.
That's right. Fair trade.
Yeah.
Maria Gibbs, Chainsaw.
What the fuck?
There it is. Jigsaw, Craig Spurlock, Rick Resler, Courtney Batchelor, Katie Brabennick, and, of course, our buddy Bill Birch.
Oh, good for you.
If you want your name to be mentioned on the show, please become a Patreon producer because, honestly, like we're doing things like this ghost hunt that's going to be coming up, and that's all going to be, you guys are the reason we're doing it.
Yep, you're the only reason we can do it.
Yeah.
We're a bunch of broke motherfuckers.
Truth. So thank you guys very much
Me and
for
me
that.
and Logan both found out that we both woke up today with negative $4 in our bank account. So between the 2 of us, we're in the whole $8.
Maybe stop buying Colt 45s. Fucking shit.
I took that out of my kid's piggy bank.
So listen,
walking into the CVS.
thank you so much for listening, and make sure you're checking out the bonus stuff because Patreon producers, we got some cool stuff coming up for you. So stay safe out there, passengers, and
yeah, man.
As always, choo choo, motherfuckers!
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Are fat and stout, your eyes fall in and your hair falls out. Your brain turns into maggot pie. Your liver starts to liquefy. And for the living all is well as you sink further into hell. And the flames rise up to drag you down into the fire where you will drown. Your skin melts off as you descend, and Satan tears you limb from limb. Your suffering will never end, and the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out. They'll eat your guts and then shit them out. And when your bones begin to rot, the worms remain, but you do not. So don't ever laugh as a hearse goes by, for someday you'll be the one to die. And when death brings his cold despair, ask yourself, will anyone care?